Hey guys, how are you doing today? It is Coach B. Wiley. I hope your week is doing well. Christmas is on the way and I have my Christmas sweater on to celebrate. Today I wanted to talk all about what I learned in my 30s. I got this video idea when I was watching YouTube the other day. I was watching these girls called the Glam Twins, and they did a video on what they learned in their 20s. Now, if you're new to my channel, my name is Coach B. Wiley. I do content on dating, relationship, communication, and then I do story time and chit chat in between. I also have a segment called Ask Me Wiley, where people from all walks of life come to me for free and they ask me questions about their specific dating, relationship, and communication problems. So if you like content like that, feel free to subscribe. Now, I just turned 40, June 21st. I was born June 21st, 1981. Hello, longest day of the year, summer solstice baby. And when I tell you this, if you've seen a previous video of mine, you'll know I did a video on how I came into 40 on 2 flat tires and like some hubcaps. It was a hot mess for many reasons. However, we're not talking about that today. We're talking about what I learned in my 30s. I remember being in my 30s, and I remember I just moved to St. Louis. And when I came to, first moved to Illinois, which is right over the water from St. Louis. I actually moved to actual St. Louis January 2012, the very end of January. And I just moved out of my cousin and his wife's house. And I was renting a room. And I was renting a room from a guy who actually was from Little Rock, Arkansas. That's where I moved. I didn't live in actual Little Rock. I lived in a small town outside of Little Rock. But basically, that's where I moved from. So I rented this room from him. I didn't know anyone. My car had broken down. It was still in the shop. I needed to get it fixed. I couldn't afford to get it fixed at the time. So I was taking the bus and the train to work every day. I was working at, I was working at AAA. It took me 2 hours to get to work, 2 hours to get from every day. And I worked that job for like six months. And so when I came in and I just didn't know what the heck I was going to do. I knew that I needed to get out of Arkansas. And the main reason why I moved out of Arkansas is because I kept hitting a wall. After I graduated from college, I could not keep a job that I liked. I got fired from, it was called Suncom. Is that the name of it? When they had the like the cards that you would buy and you'd use them on your cell phone. It was Suncom, but then it became something else. But anyway, it was like the cell phone place. I could not get to work on time because I was super irresponsible. And then after that, I had a job at Barbara Graves Intimate Fashions. I worked there for over the course of 5 years on and off, and I became a certified bra specialist. So if you need someone to fit you in a bra, I can do that. I'm certified. And then after that, I got my job at Radio Disney. Radio Disney, I thought was going to be my biggest breakthrough, but it was not. I could not afford my life because of the pay that I was getting. So after about 2 years, I had to quit from Radio Disney. And then I went to another few jobs here and there. And I just kept bouncing around. And I was tired of the bounce. And so I decided that I was going to move. I did not have a job nor a plan. So I moved here in my 30s. And then it took me till the beginning of 2014 to get a job where I can actually pay my bills. So it was January 2014. I ended up getting a temp job at a pharmaceutical technician where I answered the phone and I helped people who had narcolepsy. I helped people, I prescribed them their information. I got them their pharmacy and the medicines that they need. It was probably one of the easiest jobs I had as a pharmacy technician, but it was a temporary job. So right then I struggled. I struggled from the moment I got here until I got that job. So that job helped me get out of the woods, but then that job ended. And then I found the job, which I had the end of summer 2014. I did get another permanent job. That job didn't end until January of 2020. So over my 30s, when it came to bouncing from here to there, because that was one of the things that I used to do. If I didn't like something, I would just decide I'm leaving, I'm done, my hands are clean when it came to jobs. That's not a good habit to have. You can't just up and decide one day because your manager gets on your nerves or because you don't like your coworker or you don't like the rules at the job that you just gonna up and leave and bounce, because that does not leave good paperwork for you. What is that person going to say about you when you're applying for this new job? Oh, she just up and quit because she didn't like the color of my hair. Like, come on. So that was something that I learned, that I could not bounce around. Once I got that job, the end of summer of 2014, that ended in early 2020, I wanted to quit my first year. And I decided I'm not going to quit. I'm going to find a reason of why I need to be here. And I'm going to learn the lessons that I need to learn in this position so that I can move past this job. I knew going into that job would not be a job that I was going to retire from. So what I did over the course of that job, and that was one of my greatest blessings, because I was an executive senior, what was my title? Senior administrative assistant. And basically I had to do travel. I had to work with 20 plus personalities every day. And I had to learn everybody's personality. And I had to understand what kind of person they were, their character, what made them tick, what got on their nerves, what were their pet peeves. I always had to stay a step above, ahead, all of my superiors, all of my supervisors, because I worked in the office with all the CEOs, with the owners and the CEOs of the multiple companies. So I had to be on my jam. I had to be on my game when it comes to these multimillionaires, specifically when it came to me booking their travel and their hotel and their car, things they liked around the office, what did they into, what can't they stand. I had to be ahead, and I had to be a chameleon. I had to learn how to talk to the most high stress, anxious person I've ever met in my life, who was so anxious and made me uncomfortable. I had to learn how to work around him and talk to him to make him chill. I had to learn to work around people who were liars, flat out liars, bottom line. I had to learn to work with them closely, one-on-one, with people who blatantly told lies on other people, as well as myself. I had to learn how to work around people who are very, very controlling and hire me to do a position, but they didn't believe I could do it. I had to get ahead of people who are really fun and outgoing. I had a lot of people that I worked with that were fun and outgoing. Then I had other people who thought that I was their personal assistant. Even though I had to do all these jobs for all these 20 to 30 people, they thought I only worked for them. So with that job, it really taught me how to communicate, how to react, how to engage. And that's how I ended up, for real, specializing in communication. Yes, I got my degree from the School of Mass Communication and Broadcast Journalism. However, that job, over 5.5 years or however many years I was there, it really taught me how to communicate. Now, that's professional. So when it came to dating guys in my 30s, I haven't dated anyone solid in this state from 30 to now. I haven't. I've dated people casually. And when you think casual, you think, oh, you slamming and banging and you smashing. Nope, not at all. However, I did meet guys over the course from 30 to 40, and I realized that I was doing too much. I would always do the most while they would do the least, and the things what I wanted was not reciprocated. And I met a lot of men, and I dated a lot of guys who were very self-serving, men who were manipulative, men who had ulterior motives, and I've met men who just were simply not wanting to work, were Debbie Downers, and just kind of sucked the energy out of me. I've dated a guy in my 30s who was what do you call it when you're just trying to mooch off someone? He wanted to basically move in with me and be my live-in husband after 2 weeks. We cannot be doing that. That's crazy. So in my 30s and 40s, I realized that I had to stop being desperate. I had a real wake-up call years ago. I was about 35, 36, where I really was into this guy. I thought this guy was my 100% husband, but he was nothing but a distraction from the devil. I met that, and that was when I hit a wall. I finally hit a wall when dating came, when I met these 2 back-to-back guys, and I made a video about them. And I met them, and they really took me down through there. And it really made me rethink, what the F am I doing? Why do I keep attracting this kind of guy? Why am I attracted to this kind of guy? And what can I do? So in my 30s, I wrote my book, my first book. Hello, my name is Single, Ready to Mingle. I released that a few years ago. So I got my book out there. I became a certified professional life coach. I've always been mentoring and offering insight and assistance when it comes to dating relationships. I started doing that in 2014. 2014, if I think about it now, that's when I started my first job with the pharmacy technician, where I got paid more money than ever before back then. And 2014 is when I started that job to where I had to work with all those people that I just described to you. That really taught me. 2014, I guess, was a really good year for me, because I kind of took a shift in my direction. And then 2016, 2017 is when I hit a wall. So that was mid-30s. And when I realized that, so professionally speaking, I was growing. Personally speaking, I was sinking. And I got so low in I think it was the summer of 2017, that I had to rethink everything. I was such in a bad place because I did not understand why everybody else was succeeding with dating, yet I was failing miserably. So I took time off, wrote my book, then wrote my second book, Successfully Solving Single. And then I really got to know myself, got to know what I like, what I don't like. I really talked a lot to my best guy friend. My first book is dedicated to him. I talked to him every day, all day. He really instilled in me what I needed to know about how men operate, what men think, how to do this, how to react to that, from his insight, from my own personal experiences, from the experiences of others that I learned from. I literally was broken down in 2017 to nothing, and then I built myself up. So from 2017 to now, currently, I can say that when I look back on that, that's why, guys, when I talk to you on here about how desperate and thirsty I used to be, I can laugh at that because I'm no longer that chick. I'm so detached and far removed from that person that it's almost comedic. It is comedic. Of how I used to think, what I used to do, and why I will react the way that I would when someone just wasn't into me. Now, if I meet someone, let's say tomorrow, and I like him and he don't like me, I'm not going to jump off a bridge. I'm not going to be feeling like something is wrong with myself because I know who I am and I know I'm not for everyone. So if you're watching this and you've made it this far, hey, how are you doing? My 30s have taught me how to love myself, how to respect myself, how to remove the vagina from the situation, because hey, I ain't no virgin up in here. So my 30s taught me how to put that on the back burner, put the sex on the back burner, and let a guy get to know me for me. And if I'm not enough, just me being who I am and my personality and my character outside of my body parts, then you're not the guy for me. Because one thing in my 30s also taught me is I want a man to see me as Christ sees me. 110%. Looks are good. Looks are awesome. Looks are amazing. We all like to look at things that look good. However, what else is going on? So I did attract a lot of guys who were attracted to me because of my looks, but then they really didn't care what I had to think. They really weren't listening when I talked. They could care less about anything else other than what was right in front of them. So let's see. So that was professional, that's personal, and then business-wise, my 30s taught me to just believe in myself, to stay in prayer, to literally decide and talk to God all the time about what I want, and then ask him, hey, is this what you want for me? I've mentioned this before. On my way to work, once I realized that life coaching is what I wanted to do, I prayed every day for years that God would put me in the position to be able to leave that job that I was at, that I started in 2014, that ended in 2020, so that I can work for myself. Guess what? Right before COVID happened, 2020, they eliminated my position. They no longer needed me. They were downsizing. And then I just went full speed ahead into full-on professional life coaching. And so that was 2020. So I was 39, I guess. Is that right? Why is my math not good, guys? So was I 38? Did I turn 39 in 2020? Yeah, I was 38, about to turn 39. Now I'm 40, going to be 41. So I just started working on being a better professional, and that's when I learned that my discipline was out of whack. That's when I learned I was very inconsistent. That's when I learned that in order to make this happen, God has already confirmed that, yes, this is what I'm supposed to do, life coaching. However, what am I going to do about it? What are some bad habits that I have that I need to swap out? So now, currently, I am thanking the Lord for my 30s, because had it not been for those 30s and those men that I dated, those people I worked with, there'd be no way that I could be able to coach anyone on anything, because I wouldn't have those kind of experiences. And that's what you guys need to learn. Even if it isn't a good experience, if it's a not so good experience, take the lesson. There's always something in there for you to learn. Whatever that is, get it. And if you're mad and you're frustrated and you're ready to fight, right there in that moment is when you need to ask God, what is it? Why am I in this position that I'm in right now? What is it that I need to take from this right now so I can move beyond, through, to get to the other side? That's one thing I had to learn in my 30s. What is it? I'm here, okay, versus trying to get my way out of it. No, let's work through it. What can I learn? And it's so many lessons that I've learned in my 30s. It's like when I started at 30, I was very green, very naive, big old hearts in my eyes for any guy that looked my way. And then mid-30s, I was still there. I was noticing the red flags, and I knew what the red flag was, but I was still dumb. And so then I hit a wall. And then after I hit that wall and I was just down to nothing, dead end dating, I solely did nothing outside of depending on God to build me back up. That's literally all I did. And that's how I was able to get to where I am now at 40. So that's just a small little snippet of my years from 30 to 35 to 40 now. And I wanted you guys to just get you a little more insight on me, Brooke Wiley, your life coach, and just get to know me on a more personal level. Now, if you made it this far, it looks like we're 15 minutes in. If you made it this far and you like videos like this and you want me to do more of these, feel free to let me know down in the comments. Give me a thumbs up, put it in the comment, let me know, because I'm here to give you what you like to see. And if you don't like to see it, I won't talk about it. All right, guys, thank you again for watching. Go ahead and subscribe if you have not already. If you want to see what I'm doing every day, all day, I am on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Coach B. Wiley. Talk to you later.